Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you how to set the PIS on this Ferrari 360 with the F1 transmission. Let's get started. For those of you that don't know what the PIS is, it's basically the point of initial slip. It's the point at which the clutch will allow it to start slipping and engage. Basically, if you don't adjust this, if you put in like a challenge Stradale TCU, or if you put in a new clutch, or if you're just driving the car with a lot of slop in there, you're going to burn up your clutch really, really fast. So basically, normally it used to be the case where you couldn't set this without having factory scan tools or taking it to a dealer that could do this. You can do this with aftermarket scan tools. There are some caveats though, okay? In a video I did here that shows you kind of how to bleed the actuator and all that stuff, it talks about that. Also, here's one about upgrading the challenge Stradale TCU from a factory, one of the original TCUs that's in this car. And it kind of goes through and explains the differences there, like which ones you can upgrade, which ones can adjust the PIS, which ones can't. You're gonna wanna watch those videos ahead of time. So go ahead and look through those if you got a chance to kind of get, refreshed on it and understand. If you're in the position that you have the scan tool and you can make the adjustments, let me show you how to do this real quick. So I'm gonna go over here and get in the car and I'll show you. Okay, so I have a Foxwell NT530 and I've shown you guys this in a bunch of different videos I have. On the 360, I've used it to go through and do like gear actuator relearns and bleeding and whatnot. Also on the Gran Turismo that I've got, I've used it to basically scan all the Maserati modules as well. This is a great tool. It works really well. There are updated versions. I've heard mismatched results, whether or not newer versions work or not. This one, the NT530, does have access to quite a bit of stuff. So if you can talk to your transmission computer on the 360 here, using this, then you can set the PIS. Let me go ahead and turn the car on and I'll show you kind of the menu system and where this is all done. Okay, so first off, when you guys go ahead and you set the PIS, the car has to be warm. Ideally, you've already driven it so the gearbox oil is all warmed up. If you set it when it's cold, you're gonna have problems. You don't want that. It's gonna burn out your clutch. It's gonna cause problems, cause wear and tear that you do not need. So start the car, let it warm up. If your car is drivable to where the clutch is not super slipping, like if you can actually drive it around, go ahead and make a couple laps around the block, do whatever you gotta do. You don't really need to beat on the car. You just need to get a little bit of heat, and the fluid in the gearbox moving around so that everything is warmed up and up to temperature. Sitting and idling is not going to do it. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna start my car. I'm gonna let it warm up to idle operating temperature, where it's sitting here close to the 200, 210 degree mark, where the fans are kicking on and off, coolant's totally heated up, everything's good to go. And I'm going to bring down, and I'll show you on the scan tool that I have here. I'm gonna basically bring it down, the PIS value, until it basically will start showing on the input shaft on the transmission that it's starting to move or it's starting to drag on the clutch. Once you get there, you back it off so that it basically isn't doing that anymore. That'll give you a very good starting point, okay? I wouldn't just do that and leave it, because that's how you end up with a poorly running car and potential clutch issues or wear issues. So start with that first. If you don't want to drive the car and burn up anything on the clutch and you're worried about it, let the car warm up to idling temperature 100% so that it's cycling with the fans, and then go ahead and set it so that the clutch starts to drag, and I'll show you where you can see that, okay? So I'm gonna start mine real quick and let it warm up. Okay, we started the car. So let me show you guys here. Basically, we want to select Ferrari here, and we want to go down to F131 360 Modena, and we go to control modules, F1 second version, okay? Special functions is where everything is kind of stored, okay? Now, before we get into that, that's for setting the PIS and a bunch of other stuff that's in there, but if you look at live data, transmission primary angle speed, okay? It's gonna show that I have 0 RPM, okay? Basically, we want this to start showing something. Now, we don't want it to be anything crazy. We just want enough to see a value there so that we know that, hey, the clutch is starting to drag, we need to back it off, okay? And I'm gonna go to the special functions here, and we have the point of initial slippage, the PIS, okay? 4.082, all right? So that's what it's set to now after I did a relearn when it was hot one time. We're gonna try to bring this down. All right, I changed it from 4.08 or whatever it was. I changed it and brought it down to 4.04, okay? And I don't see any changes, so I'm gonna slowly step this down. I'm gonna do 4.02. So let's do 4. 3.02 complete, and we're going to say okay. Procedure complete, press okay. We're going to read it again. It is now 4.011 for transmission primary angle speed, 0 RPM. Let's graph it just to make sure. Yep, so when you do this, when you make these changes here, guys, to the PIS, make sure you've got your foot on the brake, the e-brake is off, and the car is sitting in neutral, okay? PIS, we're gonna say, read it, it's 4.011. We're gonna edit again. I'm gonna say let's do 3.98, okay? It's written. Still no change, guys. It's still not moving, so we're gonna make some more aggressive changes here, okay? All right, I am gonna go take this thing on a test drive real quick and see if any of the changes we made a difference and how much better or worse our clutch engagement is. And then we'll make more adjustments on the way as we drive it around to kind of dial things in a little bit more. Let's go. All right, so we're driving this thing around. We're not gonna get on it really a whole bunch. We're just trying to see if the clutch engagement is any better. So I'm gonna throw in neutral here, and we're gonna go from a stop in first gear. That's already 1,000 times better. We'll make some changes to it here in a little bit more once I drive the car around and warm it up to kind of like dial it in a little bit more. All right, downshifts work pretty well. Let's pull over here and make some changes on a flat surface. Hopefully we are... rolling a little. Let me see if I can find a better place to do this because I'm not on a flat surface, and you really kind of need a flat surface to do this. None of these roads are flat. This is not gonna work. I'm on a flat surface now. So what I'm gonna do is, all right, it's at 3.834, which this clutch is probably not in the greatest shape, but it'll be fine, it should work. So what we're gonna do, 3.83, so let's do 3.80 and see if that makes any difference. Okay, it's written. All right, so I'm gonna put this thing in reverse. And the car's not moving. I'm gonna throw in neutral. Now it's in first. Car isn't moving either. Throw it back in neutral. I'm gonna check the live data real quick. Let's see. It's still 0. So we're doing okay. I'm gonna bring it down a little more. I'm gonna do 378. All right, if I put it in first, it's not moving. It's great. If I put it in reverse, it's not moving back by itself. So let's drive and test this and see how this works. Oh man, that's already 1,000 times better as far as the slippage goes. All right, here we go. We're gonna test this thing out a little bit. First gear. Downshifts. Oh yeah. The downshifts and the upshifts, much, much cleaner. Holy cow, that's improved. That's ridiculous, the amount of slop that I took out of this thing. When I was driving this thing before, guys, it felt like I was literally waiting 2, 3, 4 seconds before it would literally engage, which I didn't drive it very much. I drove it around the block just to kind of get an idea of how much slippage there was and what needed to be adjusted to kind of like survey the field, right? Massive improvement, guys. Damn, this thing sounds good since the exhaust. We'll get to that in another video, guys. It's coming, I promise. Okay guys, so just a little recap. go ahead, if you're doing this from scratch and you want kind of the short condensed version here, start the car up, warm it up fully so the fans are cycling on and off. You know, throw it in neutral, take your parking brake off, put your foot on the brake, and then basically bring down the PIS value until when you put it in first gear and you let off the brake, it starts to creep forward. Go ahead and throw it back in neutral, obviously, and then bring it back up on the PIS until it doesn't do that. There's no creeping. Also, check it in reverse too. When you put it in reverse, you don't want it to automatically start backing up as well. You kind of want to like find that sweet spot. Once you get it there, once it's warmed up, that's a good starting point, and then you can drive the car around, and you need to start fine-tuning it and making adjustments as well. You know, stop the car on the side of the road, make some adjustments on a flat level surface so that it doesn't creep forward or backwards. Watch that input shaft speed to kind of see if that clutch dragging is an issue. And then obviously when you drive the car, check the engagement, downshifts and upshifts. You will feel a massive difference. You'll take all that slop out and the car will drive 1,000 times better. At the very end, go ahead and do a relearn. So if you go through the special functions in the menu on the Foxwell, the NT530, go ahead and do the shifter or gear relearn to kind of tighten things up at the end. Like I said, this is the way that I do it. The method I'm doing is not exactly the same by the book as what Ferrari does, but it's very similar. So like, you know, creeping forward in first gear and then putting it in reverse and checking for, you know, any of that drag on the clutch. You know, you want to go ahead and do that. But guys, this is the way I do it. If you do it differently, that's okay. You know, everybody does it a little bit differently. But this works pretty well, and the car has turned out pretty good so far. I've driven it around a little bit, and it's fantastic. I don't have any problems with it, and I'm actually very happy with the results, how it turned out. Guys, if you like this information, please like, comment, subscribe. I always try to go ahead and, you know, get as much of this information out as I run into it, and I'm doing it myself so that I can share this knowledge so people can see that like owning one of these cars is not nearly as complex or difficult as people make them out to be, as long as you're very careful and you pay attention and you have the right tools to do the job. So with that in mind, guys, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one.